What you see in front of you is the Robomaster S1 by DJI, featuring a small HD camera on the front, a little IR and gel bead blaster, and capable of going in multiple directions without the need to turn, due to its very unusual and fantastic wheels. As you can see, we've given this a bit of a test drive, and it's basically fantastic. So at the top here you can see we have two antennae. So these are the how you can control it using your mobile phone or PC using the available DJI application. There's also a small slot at the front for a micro SD card, so you can save directly onto the machine itself, otherwise it will save to your device that it's connected to. Here we have its sort of target ring, so this indicates what team you're on if you're playing multiplayer, but also how many shots you've got left or your health, etc. Down here in this little see-through compartment where you can see all these cables is the brain. So this is basically the little computer board which has all the connections in, which is basically all the controls and inputs, etc. telling these motors, these 4,000 RPM motors, what to do and when to go. So the way this works is you may notice that one wheel is got the treads facing diagonally in this way, and the other side has the wheels facing in this way, so the wheels actually are facing into each other. And the reason that is because if it wants to go forwards, this one and this back one turn, and these two just are on free roam. If it wants to go backwards, it's this one and this one after the motor's powered. If it wants to go sideways, it activates two of the wheels this way, so it pulls it in that direction, and vice versa the other way. So at any one point, two motors are spinning, the other two are just basically on free roll, and that allows it to give it the very weird and unusual floating driving appearance. On the front and on the sides, you'll see these 4 LED little panels. These are sensors that detect whether it's been hit or whether it's been shot, and the colours, again, those can be changed depending on what your customization settings are. If we go around to the back of the unit, what you can hear, you might just be able to hear it, is the fan. So up here there's a little fan that turns to keep it cool, because it can generate a lot of heat, as you can imagine. This here is the ammo box, so this is where you'd fill it up with the gel beads. We haven't got any gel beads in it, but you would load it up in here, and you'd soak them for about 4 or 5 hours beforehand in warm water. Just slot that back in. Can be quite hard to do one-handed. There we go. The full specs are available in the unboxing video that we did, so if you haven't seen that already, check it out. This back panel here we can open up, and this is where the battery compartment lives. So as you can see, we're just below 50% at this point in time, and to turn it on or off we just hold this button. We can eject the battle button using this button here, and this takes about 90 minutes to charge and lasts for about 35 minutes. One of the things that we do with this is we actually can mount a camera onto the top of the unit, so we can use it for being an active dolly essentially, and we can program it to follow set routines. So in fact, if you had blue tape, we could put out a line of blue tape, and the camera would follow it, and the robot would just follow that path that you've set down without us having to manually control it, which is fantastic. The DJI S1 sells for around about £500, so it's not exactly a cheap piece of kit, and it's sold as a STEM educational robot. Now, is this a toy? I would say no, because it's a bit more sophisticated than that, and I wouldn't really trust people too young with this, because it's a little bit advanced in some ways. It's programmed via Scratch, or basically a sort of light form of Python almost, and it's very intuitive. So you can sort of see the front here. Let me just see if I can get it moving with my other controller. So as you can sort of see here, we have our phone, which is giving us a live view of what the camera can see, but also our controls. So if I just somehow angle this so you can see both, I'll just hit maybe. So you can see we have the robot there. If we want to move its head, we just simply click and drag on the screen somewhere, and that allows us to move the gimbal on the top, which then changes the camera view, as you can see. It's capable of, we can get up to 4K, so we could actually replace potentially this camera at the top here, which is USB-C powered, to have a 4K camera in it, which would mean we can have a better active shot, so we can have sweeping shots quite easily without having to have a person on hand. Although, like I said, at the moment it only comes with a HD one. I dare say there is a possibility to upgrade that in the future, and some people have already modded it to have the DJI Cosmo or GoPro here instead. At the front here, you can just see this here is a little speaker unit, so you can actually talk through the robot itself. So if I was to do some talking right now, you can see it comes out the unit like so. It can't record audio, but again, you could probably modify it to allow it to do so by attaching a little microphone up here somewhere and plugging it in and powering it up via one of these USB ports just to capture it, because there are spare ports on this device that you can plug into. So again, you're not limited by that capacity. It can follow you as well, so this robot actually has the capability to follow a user. So if I want to define a preset user, for example, I could simply tap on this little button down here, tap on the person I want it to follow, get the gimbal, then start looking at it. If I want to then start following them, I tap it again and the robot will follow them at a set distance. I do tend to keep this robot on slow, because if I have it on fast it goes a little bit crazy, and it is capable of some quite impressive speeds. And the fact that if we can actually, you can keep up with us when we're running, as long as we don't swerve or turn too sharply, the robot is very much capable of keeping up with us. So this is the Dji Robomaster S1, a fantastic educational STEM robot, and something that me and my partner have been wanting for, well, since we first saw it. So would I encourage anybody to buy one? If you have £500 and you want to buy a robot that you could learn from and modify, because again it's very easy to adapt, there's lots of spare screws and connectors we could plug into, then definitely. If you're looking at it for a sort of toy purposes or for camera shooting, be warned, it's a little bit tricky in that regard. Like I said, you can modify it to do so, but by default it's a little bit not limited, but problematic to work with, let's say, for professional purposes. So I've been Stephen Fisher, and this has been the Dji Robomaster S1, a new addition to our tech family. Thank you for watching.